All right, guys, episode 2 of the Exchange Q&A. Again, I think right now we have somebody set up to come in on Thursday, and then we'll do a interview chat on Thursday, and that will be released on Friday. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be releasing 6 in the morning. That's Pacific Standard Time for the podcast, and then we're going to do the YouTube version at 3 p.m. the same day.
All right. The questions we got coming in today are kind of related to lifestyle entrepreneurship, balancing an entrepreneurial life.
Mm-hmm. Something I don't know too much about.
Well,
come from a guy that works in the office. On his days off, he comes in and...
Okay. So on that note, we might as well just get straight into this.
All right.
This is related. This is from Abby, our first question.
Mm-hmm.
How many days a week do you take work off? I mean, completely off, not even checking work emails.
Abby, honestly, I don't take any days off in a year, to answer your question. Now, I take Sundays off, but I'm still looking at social media. I'm still looking at emails. I like to say I take 2 days off a year. One is Christmas, and the other one would be my birthday. But even then... Even this year, I didn't even take the birthday off, right? Never. I don't think. Based on a question.
When you went on a vacation last year, you were still every day.
Yeah.
So then let's talk about that.
Because I like it, right?
Okay.
It's not, to me, it's not work. I enjoy what I do. I like it. I can't sleep at nighttime coming in and doing a podcast or getting business done, or if it's something I don't like, ask me another question like, how many days a week do I like to go to the gym? The answer is 0.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I guess
to me, it's fucking boring as hell.
What's the old saying? Find something you love to do and you never work a day in your life, kind of a thing.
Bingo.
Is that?
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Do you ever feel burnout?
Yeah, I do. And when I feel that burnout, I need a day or sometimes just less than that. At that stage, then I just put everything down. And I know, for me, when I get burnt out, I'm tired. My shoulders start hurting is the number one thing, right? That's the giveaway for me. My shoulders start hurting is like, okay, now I know something's coming down, and I'll put it down then.
Mm-hmm. So it's about kind of just being self-aware and understanding
I'm
your
extremely
break
self-aware
points.
with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But my default is work. I love it. I just come into the office. I get a lot of shit done on days when nobody's here. It just works.
Do you think that do you need a full day? Like you said, when you kind of feel that pain in your shoulders, are you fine just taking like a few hours and being like, okay, let me just shut down, and then you can kind of, whenever you're ready? Like, there's this idea that you need to take a week or a day or something. Can you manage that, like, personally, within a few hours, 6 hours?
Yeah, for me, it was never a week. It was probably a day, maybe at the most, maybe 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
But now it was less and less. I would say I'm more balanced today than I was when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
But balance based on what, 8, and 8, sleep 8, work 8, and family, whatever the other 8. I don't follow that. For me, it's Monday to Friday grind. As much as I can, get some sleep, wake up in the morning, do the same thing. Weekends come along, and then that's some family and friends, and I want time to walk around and declutter and then take myself on a date. And I think that's what I do on weekends, right?
Yeah.
Just like, I love being by myself, and most people don't.
Mm-hmm.
And what that is, when I'm by myself, I get to think a lot. What's going on, if I'm following the right path, mentally, physically, my soul is there. Like, everything balances there. That's, to me.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure we'll get back to that in some way, full flesh, just with the other questions.
Mm-hmm.
But this will connect in some way. You said going on a date with yourself. I'm not sure to what extent you can actually comment on this next one.
Yeah.
Coming from Sam, what do you think is the best way to meet new people in a dating context?
This is funny because I'm living this right now. Like online. Like, what's he?
It's just, what do you think? What is your way, or what do you is it organic?
I have no way. I can go to Safeway. I go to like London Drugs, and I meet somebody that will say hi and talk, spark up a conversation. I'm serious, man. I'm like, I don't know about this online stuff and like swiping, whatever thing
Yeah.
is going. Like
I can actually attest to that when we're walking around for the camera for the people listening and watching. Not that you know, not about like dates or per se, but the way you just spark up a conversation with anyone.
Yeah, it's just me.
Someone wearing a
That's
hat.
just
Yeah,
me.
just talking. Yeah.
It's like I'm very social. Like I like getting out there and just chatting with somebody else, spark a conversation with anyone. If I'm in the mood. If I'm not, and if I'm focused on something else, then I won't. But like I'll spark up a conversation anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Not dirty or anything like that. Just straight up like, hey, what's up? Like.
No, I know.
No, what's the best hair dye?
Yeah.
Which I never buy,
Yeah.
and I'm not going
It's
to.
the silver one.
Man, the silver bullet, dude.
So in terms of, so you kind of just, however way you approach that in general is the way you would same for a dating context.
Yeah, like wherever you feel comfortable. Some people feel comfortable behind the screen. But the reality is when you're going to meet somebody, you're going to be face to face. You're not going to be behind the screen.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's screens here all day long, but I look at the end, like, who am I talking to? That's, to me, that's more important, right? So I think people just get way too comfortable behind the screen, and when they go on a date, they just don't know what to say, they don't know what to talk about or anything like that. And I feel more comfortable, talking to somebody.
Do you think that the way of just kind of letting things happen organically, do you think that's a little bit lost? And we can even talk about this in a business setting, right? Like everyone's trying to, swipe left or swipe right. Do you think the art of maybe, just like you said, like you do, is just going up to some random people, strike up a conversation?
Look, when I was young, I didn't have confidence. I was very shy, and I think if technology like this was around back then, I would be using it heavily. Today, I have a little too much confidence sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
Is there such thing as too much confidence? Nah.
I don't think so.
No,
it depends. I guess that crosses a threshold maybe to cockiness or
Yeah.
something, right? That's the only thing that I would say.
Definitely not cocky, but I get out there and look, what's the worst someone can say is no? Thank you. I'd rather hear a no right now than no later on in life. Like, come on, this is part of business, right? No. Perfect. Move to the next one. Right? And if it's a yes, like, right, then we'll figure it out then.
Next question is also from Abby, who was our first question. True or false? If your lifestyle is failing, your business will fail too.
True. If in your personal life you're not happy, it's gonna come over to your business world. There's a mentor I've dealt with on the sales side about 10 years ago, and it was a circle, right? And it goes a circle. You have like a wheel. You have spokes, and there's like one spoke will be family, the other one will be business, one will be education, one will be money, right? But it goes, if all those spokes are the same level and one is shorter, like your health is shorter, what's going to happen is when that wheel spins, the spoke spins, you're going to hit a flat spot, right? And it's not going to work. So every aspect of your life has to be on par, right? And if one aspect of your life is not on par, then you need to fix that, or else that's going to slow you down.
So I guess it's just identifying which spoke that is. What about, like, just relating, we had a question yesterday, remember that the woman who was trying to balance her marriage or potential marriage, living at home and everything. When do you pick? Or how do you know what to pick? Or when do you know, maybe if you think that if you can't sleep
if you can't sleep at nighttime,
yeah,
and you have something going through your mind, which one is it? All comes down to me, right? What does it come down to? And then you got to work on that. Sometimes it's all of them. Well, actually, it's not sometimes all of it. Sometimes it's just this one little thing, and once you fix that, then everything kind of falls in place.
Gotcha. From Tiffany, in business, should you accept every friend request on social media? Why or why not?
No. Multi-level marketers, fuck yous. Seriously, straight up. Like, don't add me. Like, I can't stand that shit, right? So, if I know that they're doing that, or they're from a company called Scamway, like, I'm not gonna add them. And we had multiple meetings, right? Where they tried to call and say, we want to come in, we want to talk about social media, we want to talk about all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, all they are part of Scamway, right? Like, I don't want to. Because I know those guys. They will come, they will pitch something to you, and then it's multi-level. It doesn't work, it doesn't sell, then they're gone somewhere else. It's just a waste of our time. So like full on waste of my time. If I can't add value to somebody, if somebody's coming to me from a, I don't know, man, like printing industry, I have nothing in common with them. Like, what the hell am I going to do with them? Like, if I can't add them value, they can't add me value, then why would I even...
What about...
I don't want to follow them. They want to follow me because of some for a reason, then I'm okay with that.
But in terms of, I guess, friend, let's go friend request. And a little more gray area, let's say, if, like, would you accept a friend request from investor, client?
In what purpose?
Say on Facebook. Like just
yeah,
like,
if it's somebody I know, yes, because there's a bond there.
Okay.
There's a bond there, yes.
So you're not concerned about mixing some aspect of business and friendship on that?
No, not at all. Okay. I'm not. Mm-hmm. Whatever I want to put on Facebook or any social media, I want the world to see. So regardless what part of the life I fit into, if it's business, if it's personal, if it's I don't know what else there is, business, personal, whatever, acquaintance. It's there for everyone to see. Mm-hmm. No, I have no problem with that.
Okay. Another question from Abby. Would your business still be able to function normally if you couldn't show up for a week?
Mortgage business, no. Vlog. Got enough confidence in Dylan now. Yeah. I think you can chop some stuff up, put it together. Probably just send me a Google note so I can check your spelling and grammar. But besides that... I'm good. So, Abby, on the mortgage business, no, and that's when I go on vacation, I pretty much just shut that business off. Nothing really happens. But if it's the vlogging side, then I got all the confidence in Dylan to do all this stuff.
Have you ever in the past had people manage things on your time off?
I did, but nothing happens, right? Because I'm a service business. And people contact me because they want to deal with me, not because they want to deal with somebody that I just passed them on to. So from time to time, if it's a rush file, and MB will step in and I'll give it over to him. But besides that, no. Okay.
From Andre, this is more general. I think we've been talking about it. Maybe we can bring up some other things about it.
Actually, just hold on one second.
Yeah.
I just want to go back in that one. And look, I think one of these days I will. Mortgage business is not a business I want to grow, right? It's just here because it helps right now, but eventually I would be out of it. So if need be, I would have had somebody in here a long time ago that would be we would be working as a team, and that person would be taking over all the files when I'm not around, or when I am busy. They can always contact this other person. But again, it's not a business that I want to scale. So that's the reason why I don't pass anything down to anyone else. That's the only reason. Okay, next.
You just touched on mortgage. You don't necessarily want to scale or grow. So this is a question from Janelle. Is your business your passion or a means to gain the finances for what you're truly passionate about?
Mortgage is the means to grab. Well, there's two things for the mortgage side for me. Is number one is I get to look at a lot of business, and I do a very specific type of mortgage. We do private mortgages and some type of and also business financing. So my end goal is to purchase companies and get into private equity. So what the mortgage business allows me to do is look at financial statements from other companies. So smaller companies come in and I can look at it like, oh, look, this industry is pretty damn good, right? Where can I add value here? It's like, good. Now I have a note in my head like, okay, I know what type of companies I can reach for. Also, it allows me to make a decent income part-time. Is what I'm doing mortgages for, and then have the rest of the time to do vlogs and podcasts and everything else. And then the third reason is, I can bank in this business where I can save up and deploy that capital into other companies. And also fourth is I can lend out my own money into an investment that I know, and I know it's somewhat safe for a guy like me who understands a lot of investments and how to put money in and how to take it out. So it works in all four matters for me.
From Andre, how do you balance business with other things going on in your life? I'm talking about family time, relaxation, and hanging out with friends.
My business is Monday to Friday. Typically for me, it's Friday nights I would spend it with friends, and Friday and Saturday nights it's usually with friends, and then Sunday evening is family. But besides that, it's other work time, me time, and then after that, family and friends.
I remember you saying like Sundays was your
Sunday
family
during football
day.
season. That's my time.
Yeah.
It's I enjoy watching games, cooking, chilling out.
Did that just happen organically, or did you get burnt out to a point where like, you know what,
No,
I need this day?
That was California. That was, growing up in California. Every time we go there, that was like middle of August, and preseason was starting, and there's a lot of family bond and eating and things going on and having a good time. So I just carry that legacy on here. Now I do it solely here, right?
Yeah.
But it's habit for me.
Okay. Similar question from Eric. As I find myself struggling with various components of building a business, I find it difficult to stay on task with specific projects. How have you navigated this in your business?
Say that again.
I find myself struggling with various components of building a business. He finds it difficult to stay on task with specific projects. How have you navigated this? Staying focused and...
Yeah, like when that happens to me, it's like I have too much on the go, right? So I need to cut time. Like for me, and the way I do in the mortgage business is, mortgage for me is when I wake up. So anywhere between 6 and 7, I do this until like noon. And during that, 6 to 7 hours, I'm really focused on, 5 to 6 hours, I'm really focused on mortgage business. That's it. It's either bringing in the business, underwriting the deals, approving it, or instructing, doing all this stuff. And that's all I want to be focused on. Actually, today we had a conversation about podcast you coming in at 10 in the morning. It's like I can't commit to that. It just doesn't work, right? I need to like really focus on that time. And then when 1 o'clock comes around, and then we're recording from 2 o'clock onwards, I make sure this time is dedicated for this thing here, and like everything else I'll push back. So that's how I split my time up. Okay. Right. And then one of the things that I was doing a couple of years ago was, because I was involved with another company, being a partner of that company, we had sales to do, we had deals to underwrite, and then we had collections to do. So one, you're very friendly, which was my strong side, and then you have later on where you have to make the collection calls, and those are not the greatest calls, and that's something I really hated doing. And in between, I had to take some time out, and those time outs for me was meditation. I need, my mindset has to change. So I started meditating quite a bit, like 10, 15 minutes, and clear the mind, and then, next step, and go and get that done.
This is kind of coming from me. Well, this is coming from me. We're talking about how do you kind of find the balance or walk the line between, you talked about building that bond, in business, whether that's an investor or whoever, any type of client, and then dealing with the other side, which is maybe you have to send a demand or stuff.
Yeah.
Like how do you, because
simple. I know how to answer the question. That's why I'm cutting you off here. It's simple. I don't do the demand anymore. I just send it to lawyers. Not my job.
Delegate.
That stuff is delegated. It's easier. Sure, it's costing money, but just send it over. It's not something I like. If something I don't like, I don't do. Right.
Do you find yourself like, as you're about building bonds and building relationships, do you find yourselves having to kind of reel back at times for these instances?
No, because it's business. Things happen, right? For whatever reason, things happen. And most of the time when they're not contacting you, it's for a reason, right? They're probably shy and embarrassed, whatever it is. And then when a letter goes out from the lawyer's office, then it's like, okay, you know what? We need to deal with this. Then they deal with it. Then they have, something happens. They explain it. The lawyer gets back to us like, hey, this is what they're going through. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, we'll reinstate, and then let's go, right? It's just all that demand is, well, first of all, it's business, and next thing, and the other thing is, there's always going to be a story. Like, is that story, is it good, or is it is a bunch of BS and we want our money out? So just got to figure that out. But I delegate now.
Okay. From Anthony, Would you ever consider running your business in a co-working space?
Anthony's, I like that question. Actually, we thought about getting into a WeWork a little while ago. Yeah, well, I will.
Yeah.
But the thing here, Anthony, is I know my team's going to get bigger. Now, I have to look at it, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. Are we going to be too big for the WeWork section? I think so. Right? So, if it works, obviously there is shorter terms there, but got to look at something because I can scale this business very fast if the right things fall into place.
Right.
Extremely fast. And if that's going to happen in a year and 2 years, then we're going to be screwed there, most likely.
Yeah.
So it's just managing it properly.
How much have you looked into cost and everything?
I looked into, we can take a look afterwards. I think every region is going to be all different,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Obviously, San Francisco, New York, Vancouver is going to be different price versus, Saskatoon, Edmonton.
Yeah, maybe.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Places like that is going to be totally different.
Right.
So all depends.
We should get someone on that's worked in that for perspective. It might be good value.
Yeah, actually, the lady I talked to there, I might, good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah, I'll reach out. I should reach out and see if they want to. Hopefully, it's not the same thing that we went through the other company. They had to get approval from.
Right.
From
Yeah.
top.
Well.
That's a
I mean, that
that's
went
a pain in the
relatively
ass.
smoothly considering. But
Yeah, but the time, man.
Yeah.
Like I was fed up by the time we even had
Yeah, I know.
to get together.
But good content.
Content was good.
Okay. That's all I got for you today.
All right, guys. Please reach out if you have any questions at Sunil Prasad 360 SUNIL PRASAD 360. That's my profile on all platforms. Ask questions there, and I'll do my best to answer it. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
That's it. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.